New at 5, a woman is dead and a man is in jail after an early morning shooting in Athens. Athens police say they found 26-year-old Alexis Garth on the driveway of a home off this road here. This is Oakdale Ridge Lane. She was taken to the hospital where she later died.
New Year's Day, a time for fresh starts, champagne toasts, and hopeful resolutions. But on January 1, 2023, for one family in Athens, Alabama, the dawn broke with the sound of gunshots, not celebration. In the stillness of a quiet residential street, 26-year-old Alexis Garth lay critically wounded in her own driveway. Her home, once a symbol of new beginnings, had become the site of unthinkable violence. It was a scene that defied all logic. How could a day of joyous new beginnings turn into a brutal ending for a young mother in her own home? Just 1 year earlier, Alexis had shared a photo on social media. She stood beside her boyfriend, in front of their new Athens home, beaming with pride. "We beat the odds," the caption declared, radiating optimism and the promise of a bright future. They moved in on New Year's Day 2022. It seemed perfect, but how often do we see a carefully constructed image of happiness, completely unaware of the dangers hiding beneath? What if the very foundations of that new home were built on shifting ground, a dangerous secret concealed from public view? How could a day of joyous new beginnings turn into a brutal ending for a young mother in her own home? The call came in at 4 a.m. A domestic dispute, escalating into a shooting. When officers arrived, they found Alexis. She had multiple gunshot injuries, a fight for her life ending far too soon. Her most profound role, that of a mother to two young daughters, aged 3 years and 8 months, made this tragedy even more heartbreaking. Reports would later suggest her final act was one of selfless courage, trying to shield her eldest child. The alleged assailant, her own boyfriend, was identified and detained quickly, but that only raises more questions. How could a day of joyous new beginnings turn into a brutal ending for a young mother in her own home? Before we explore the chilling events that led to this nightmare, consider hitting that like button to help us bring these vital stories to more people. Welcome to True Crime Footprint, where we unveil the darkest mysteries and the most terrifying true crime tales. Kindly subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss any of our new stories. Your support keeps these stories alive. Alexis Garth, at 26 years old, was known for her kind spirit and genuine nature. She was a central figure to her family, a cherished daughter, and a beloved sister. Above all, Alexis was a devoted mother. Her world revolved around her two young girls, a 3-year-old and an 8-month-old. Friends and family consistently recalled her deepest desire. She just wanted to take care of her daughters. Her dreams centered on providing for them, moving into a bigger house for her and her kids, ensuring their comfort and happiness. This powerful maternal instinct guided her every decision. On New Year's Day 2022, Alexis shared a moment of apparent triumph. A hopeful photograph appeared on Facebook. There she stood, smiling, with in front of their new Athens home. The accompanying caption radiated optimism. "When they try to count you out, you make 'em count you in. We beat the odds." Hashtags like #HappenWe're and #NewHome marked this public declaration of a fresh start, a symbol of aspiration and overcoming obstacles. It was a picture-perfect moment, frozen in time, signaling a new chapter. That hopeful image, however, masked a deeply troubling reality. While public perception showed success, within the walls of that very home, a different story was unfolding. Family members later review the complicated and abusive relationship. The vibrant personality Alexis showed the world hid significant private struggles. This unsettling contrast hints at the hidden turmoil. The silent battles fought away from the celebratory social media posts. The happy home, meant as a sanctuary, concealed a dangerous truth that would eventually consume it. The final day of Alexis's life, New Year's Day 2023, began innocently enough. She spent time with her mother, Garth. Later, Alexis went to Huntsville to socialize with friends, a normal outing. Upon her return to her mother's house, arrived. He was there to drive Alexis back to their shared home on Oakdale Ridge Lane. it seemed a routine pickup, a common exchange. Yet, with every passing moment, the shadow around Alexis deepened, drawing her closer to the terrifying events that lay just ahead. That social media post from a year ago radiated hope, but as the clock ticked towards a new year, a terrifying secret was poised to shatter everything. The final hours of Alexis's life continued with an ordinary errand. Her sister, Miracle Scott, realized she had accidentally left her keys in Alexis's car. A quick trip was arranged. Alexis drove to a Buc-ee's store, a common meeting point, to return them to Miracle. This brief, seemingly insignificant separation, a momentary pause in her journey home, was an everyday interaction. No one could have known it would be their last casual encounter, a final, fleeting goodbye before darkness descended. Alexis returned to the Oakdale Ridge Lane residence. The peaceful early morning hours gave way to sudden, desperate urgency. A phone rang. It was Alexis, calling her sister, Miracle Scott. Her voice, usually filled with life and warmth, was now consumed by fear. She was crying, frantic, her words a chilling plea to Kieran Yarbrough. Get away from her with the gun. The call offered a terrifying glimpse into a private horror, a desperate cry for help echoing through the phone lines. Miracle Scott immediately attempted to call Alexis back. What she heard next was not a voice, but the horrifying sounds of a shooting unfolding. Simultaneously, Alexis's mother, Shaunetta Garth, was also on an open phone line with her daughter. From the other end, Shaunetta heard Kieran Yarbrough utter a chilling and explicit threat. His words left no room for doubt. I'm going to kill her, the baby. This statement, overheard in those terrifying moments, revealed a cold, calculated intent, exposing the true depths of the danger Alexis faced. Two mothers, connected by a phone line, bore witness to a horrific unfolding. One heard gunshots, the other a monstrous, chilling threat. What terrifying actions followed in those agonizing, unspeakable seconds? The terrifying sounds from the phone line spurred Alexis's mother, Shaunetta Garth, into a frantic race against time. With her heart pounding, she dialed 911, her voice urgent, providing the address on Oakdale Ridge Lane. Every second felt like an hour as she sped towards her daughter's home, hoping against hope to arrive before it was too late. The journey, usually a short one, became an agonizing test of endurance. Fueled by a mother's desperate need to protect her child, police units were swiftly dispatched. They arrived at the residence, sirens cutting through the early morning quiet. Officers found Alexis Garth in the driveway, grievously wounded from multiple gunshots. Shaunetta Garth pulled up moments later. In the chaos, she saw both Alexis and Yarbrough lying there. In her initial, agonizing shock, she believed they were both being held, part of the response to the domestic dispute. A painful misunderstanding in a moment of extreme duress, masking the horrific truth. The harsh reality became brutally clear. An officer's urgent voice cut through the air. We need a medic bag. Shaunetta Garth's eyes fell upon her daughter. The sight was seared into her memory, a visceral image of profound pain. My daughter was laying there with blood running down the sidewalk like water when you wash a car. Alexis had been shot 5 times. Her life, once full of promise, was ebbing away on the cold concrete. Amidst the horror, a heartbreaking detail emerged, revealing Alexis's final act of immense courage. Her mother confirmed that Alexis died protecting her 3-year-old daughter. The child, instinctively aware of the extreme danger, displayed incredible self-preservation. In the chaos and terror, she was smart enough to go hide under a car. In the driveway, this young child, a silent witness, sought refuge as her mother made the ultimate sacrifice. Police reports provided a chilling account of Yarbrough's actions in those final seconds. As officers pulled up to the scene, Yarbrough shot Alexis. Then, in a sudden shift, he laid himself on the ground, pushed the gun away from him, and surrendered. Alexis was transported to Huntsville Hospital, but despite all efforts, she passed away a short time later.
Athens police say 26-year-old Alexis Garth died at Huntsville Hospital after being shot around 4 in the morning.
Tonight, the family's still very much processing Alexis Garth's death. The 26-year-old died after she was shot multiple times by a man she once loved.
How he spoke, he loved my sister. So no, I didn't think it would come to this point at all. I didn't.
Miracle Scott is Alexis Garth's younger sister. She says she last saw her sister about an hour before she was shot.
She was a light, very family oriented, a great friend. You could talk to her about anything. She could light up a room by just walking in it, beautiful smile. Just an all around good person. Definitely somebody who didn't deserve to die like this. Yeah.
Scott says her sister was shot 5 times by Chiron Yarbrough at a home the two shared on Oakdale Ridge Lane. Athens police say Garth was found on the driveway before being rushed to Huntsville Hospital, where she later died. The shooting happened in front of her 3-year-old daughter.
She understands. My mommy died. My mommy sleep at the hospital forever.
Garth also leaves behind a second daughter, 8 months old, too young to understand what happened. Yarbrough is that child's father. Scott says Garth recently expressed interest in getting out of the relationship with Yarbrough.
Took somebody's sister. You took the mother to your daughter. You took somebody else's daughter. You could have just let her leave, other than taking her life.
The New Year's Day celebration had ended in an act of brutal violence, leaving an entire family shattered. This story highlights the real and present danger of domestic violence. If you're finding this narrative impactful, please share it with someone who needs to hear it, and leave a comment below with your thoughts on the crucial role of external intervention. In the wake of Alexis's death, Chiron Yarbrough, at 20 years old, faced immediate and severe legal consequences. He was charged with capital murder. This grave charge was specifically elevated due to the profoundly disturbing fact that Alexis Garth was killed in the direct presence of her 3-year-old daughter. The gravity of this detail underscored the brutality of the act. Judge R. Gray West quickly ordered Yarbrough to be held without bond, ensuring he would remain in custody pending trial. The judge's decision to deny bond was made possible by a recent, pivotal piece of Alabama legislation, Onia's Law. This law, effective November 28, 2022, just over a month before Alexis's murder, significantly amended the Alabama Constitution. It granted judges far greater authority to deny bail for individuals charged with certain serious violent offenses, including capital murder. The law was a direct response to a previous tragedy, aiming to protect the public from individuals deemed to pose an ongoing threat to community safety. In Yarbrough's case, the capital murder charge immediately triggered its stringent guidelines. The judge's order denying bond pointed to Yarbrough's past. His criminal record included a 2019 conviction as a youthful offender when he was just 16. The charge stemmed from a shooting where he fired at 3 other juveniles after a fight, injuring 2. He received a suspended sentence and probation. However, his probation was revoked on 2 separate occasions due to documented allegations of committing new criminal offenses. Circuit Judge Chadwick Wise had then ordered him to serve the remainder of his 36-month sentence in a state penitentiary, a sentence set to conclude in May 2023. This history painted a troubling picture of continued violent behavior and a clear disregard for legal boundaries. Here lies a critical, controversial point. Despite the judicial order and his remaining sentence, Chiron Yarbrough was granted a mandatory release by the Alabama Department of Corrections. This decision, made on December 2, 2022, allowed him to return to Athens and Limestone County under supervision. The timeframe is chilling. A mere 29 days later, he allegedly murdered Alexis Garth. This release, made while his sentence still had months remaining, immediately raised profound questions about the judgment and parameters within the correctional system. The News-Courier newspaper attempted to seek clarification from the Alabama Department of Corrections regarding the decision-making process behind Yarbrough's mandatory release. At the time of their report, they received no response. This silence compounds the perception of a fundamental lapse, a potential failure in safeguarding the public. In the immediate aftermath of Alexis's devastating death, friends, family, and members of the wider Athens community converged. A candlelight vigil was held at Tanner High School Park, a solemn gathering to honor her life. Many attendees wore symbolic purple and yellow, holding candles aloft. As the evening darkened, purple balloons were released into the night sky, ascending as a collective gesture of remembrance. In unison, a powerful phrase echoed, "Long live Alexis."
We left Huntsville, came back here. She brought my keys to Buc-ee's, and then not even an hour after that, I got a call. For me personally, it just makes me think I could have tried a little harder. Being one of the people that did, know a lot more about it than others. I did try to push, but just knowing what I knew, and if I would have knew now, it would have came to this, I would have pushed harder. I would have.
Tears fell Saturday evening as friends and family gathered on the Tanner High School track area for a vigil. Family members took turns coming forward to share stories about Alexis.
We just never expected to be here doing all this for her because she didn't deserve any of this, but my sister was a very genuine person who just wanted to live and take care of her daughters.
And family members didn't fail to share an even bigger message for anyone struggling to get out of an abusive relationship.
If they can help themselves, y'all help them. And if they don't want to go, do what I did. Call 911.
This chant became a rallying cry, a symbol of shared loss, collective grief, and unwavering solidarity. Alexis's sisters, Miracle Scott and Victoria Garth, spoke at the vigil, sharing raw, heartfelt memories. They painted a picture of Alexis as someone who brought joy, a kind person whose primary purpose was to live and take care of her daughters. Victoria Garth, in particular, used the solemn platform to deliver a crucial, direct message. Her words were aimed at anyone trapped in an abusive relationship, and at the community at large. All I can say is, please, if they can't help themselves, y'all help them. If they don't want to go, do what I did, call 911. This impassioned appeal underscored the desperate need for external intervention when victims cannot escape on their own. Alexis's mother, Shawnetta Garth, took an active role in shaping the public understanding of her daughter's death. She courageously used Facebook Live to chronicle the harrowing hours leading up to the murder. Her aim was clear: to counter any narratives appearing on social media that seemed to defend Yarbrough. This demonstrated the family's proactive fight for truth and justice. Extending beyond the formal legal process into the realm of public perception, their profound, ongoing pain remains evident. As Shawnetta stated, "We're just taking it day by day, reflecting the deep and lasting impact of their loss." Alexis Garth's story provides a stark, painful lesson. Even in our most personal spaces, within the supposed safety of our homes, vulnerability to violence exists. Appearances can be profoundly deceiving. The public joy displayed on social media can mask private terror. This tragic case forces us to look beyond what is outwardly presented and to recognize the subtle signs of hidden abuse. Crucially, it highlights that for a victim attempting to leave an abusive relationship, that period is often the most dangerous, when the risk of escalation is highest. Another vital lesson from this tragedy is the life-saving potential of family and community intervention. Victoria Garth's direct plea to call 911 for those who can't help themselves is a stark reminder that sometimes external action is the only path to safety. This underscores the shared responsibility we all bear to protect the vulnerable. Domestic violence is not a private matter. It is a societal issue that demands collective vigilance and a willingness to step in when someone is in danger. Alexis Garth's family is committed to transforming their immense personal loss into a powerful public lesson. They are dedicated to using their experience as a lesson to teach others about the dangers of domestic abuse. Their stated plan is to get justice for her and get the word out to as many people as we can so this doesn't happen to anyone else. This signifies a long-term commitment to advocacy and prevention, to provide tangible support for Alexis's legacy and the future of her children. An account named Angels of Alexis has been established for donations. Their advocacy implicitly promotes critical resources like domestic violence hotlines, underscoring the importance of accessible support for victims seeking help. This was a wake-up call. No, seriously. This was a profound wake-up call for an entire community. Did you catch the chilling parallel between the New Year's Day post and the day of her death? Rewind if you need to. It sets the stage for the true horror. Alexis Garth's story is a stark reminder of the hidden battles many face. If this narrative moved you, hit that like button, subscribe to True Crime Footprint for more cases that demand our attention, and share this video to spread awareness about the critical signs of domestic violence and the importance of timely intervention. Your engagement ensures these stories, and their lessons, reach those who need them most. Our hearts ache for Alexis' family. Words feel inadequate, but please know you are held in deepest sympathy and prayers. May you find strength and comfort in memories of Alexis. Thank you for watching, for your attention, and for joining us on this journey of reflection. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and above all, stay safe. See you on our next video.